What if I told you that your brain, the same brain that can solve math, learn languages, and binge 6 hours of Netflix, is actively working against you every single day? Not because you're stupid, not because you're lazy, because you're normal. And normal is the problem. See, evolution didn't build your brain to be smart. It built your brain to survive. There's a difference, a huge one. Surviving in 100,000 BC meant don't get eaten, don't starve, copy what everyone else does. Thriving in 2025 means think independently, delay gratification, and do things that feel uncomfortable. Your brain missed that update. And here's the wild part. 90% of people are still running the old software, every single day, on autopilot. So what does the other 10% know that you don't? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you're going to see exactly where most people's thinking breaks down and how to quietly sidestep every single trap. Let's start with the most dangerous thing your brain does without asking your permission. It copies people. Sounds harmless, right? Actually, it's the #1 reason most people never get ahead. This is called social proof bias, and evolutionarily, it made total sense. If everyone in your tribe ran from a bush, you ran too. No time to investigate. The ones who stopped to check? Eaten. Fast forward to today. Everyone's buying crypto because everyone's buying crypto. Everyone's choosing the same career because it looks safe. Everyone's scrolling the same content, thinking the same thoughts, living the same life. Not because they chose it, because the brain said, this is what the herd is doing. Follow the herd. Stay alive. The outsmart move? Pause before you follow. Next time you're about to do something because everyone does it, stop. Ask, is this my decision, or is my lizard brain just copying the room? That one question puts you ahead of 70% of people instantly, and that's just trap #1. It gets weirder, and honestly, more embarrassing. Real quick, if this kind of stuff makes your brain tingle in a good way, hit subscribe. Stickman Burst is literally just evolutionary psychology explained with doodles and zero fluff. You'll fit right in. Okay, back to your brain being a disaster. Here's something that sounds backwards. Most people think they're thinking, but they're not actually thinking, they're recognizing. Your brain is a prediction machine. It hates using energy. So instead of actually analyzing a situation, it pattern matches to something familiar and calls it a day. Psychologists call this System 1 thinking, your brain's lazy shortcut mode. You see a confident person, you assume they're competent. You see an expensive product, you assume it's better. You see someone disagreeing with the group, you assume they're wrong. None of that is thinking, that's just your brain vibing on autopilot. The people who outsmart the 90%, they've trained themselves to catch that moment, that split second where the brain says, I already know this, and they override it. They ask, wait, do I actually know this? Or does it just feel familiar? Familiarity is not truth. Write that down. Your brain is basically that one friend who confidently gives directions to a place they've never been. Very sure, completely wrong, zero regrets. Okay, here's the one that's going to sting a little. Don't say I didn't warn you. The #1 thing that stops smart people from getting smarter? They already think they're smart. This is called the Dunning-Kruger effect, and it's everywhere. People who know a little about something become very confident. People who know a lot become uncertain because they understand how much they don't know. And here's what makes this an evolutionary trap. Status mattered in tribal life. Admitting, I don't know, was the same as saying, I'm lower rank. So your brain hates being wrong. It will literally rewrite your memory to make you seem more right than you were. You've done this. We've all done this. Our brains are shameless. The outsmart move? Adopt what the Japanese call shoshin, beginner's mind. Walk into every conversation, every meeting, every argument, assuming there's something you haven't considered yet. The smartest people in any room are the ones with the most questions, not the most answers. But wait, what if your whole identity is built around being right? What happens to your decisions then? Spoiler, it's not good. And it explains why even intelligent people make catastrophically bad choices. Ever stayed in a bad situation way too long? A bad job, a bad relationship, a bad haircut, just because you'd already invested so much into it? That's the sunk cost fallacy. And it's not just a logical error. It's a survival mechanism gone wrong. In ancient environments, abandoning something you'd worked for was costly. You don't just drop the hunt when you're 3 hours in. That made sense then. In modern life, it means people stay stuck in situations that are clearly not working because their brain is screaming, but you already put so much in. The past investment is gone. It's irrelevant. The only real question is, if I were starting today with zero history, would I choose this? If the answer is no, you have your answer. Most people never ask that question, which is exactly why most people stay exactly where they are. Sunk cost is literally your brain doing the emotional equivalent of finishing a terrible meal because you paid for it. Sir, the damage is done. Put the fork down. So here's how you actually operate differently from the 90%. It's not about being smarter, it's about having better mental habits. 1. Question the herd. Before you follow a default path, ask if it's actually your choice. 2. Catch the shortcut. When something feels obvious or familiar, that's exactly when to slow down and actually analyze. 3. Stay a student. Your ego is not your friend. The moment you think you know enough, you stop growing. 4. Kill the sunk cost. Judge every situation on what's ahead, not what's behind. The past doesn't vote. 5. Decide before you're emotional. Set your rules when you're calm. Follow them when you're not. If you want more of this, psychology, decision-making, why humans are delightfully irrational, subscribe to Stickman Burst. We break this stuff down every week. The button's right there. Takes literally 1 second. Your future smarter self will thank you. Here's the truth nobody tells you. Outsmarting 90% of people isn't about IQ. It's not about education. It's not even about experience. It's about awareness. The moment you understand that your brain has factory-installed bugs, biases, shortcuts, tribal instincts, you stop being controlled by them. You start watching yourself think. And that one shift, that metacognitive gap between impulse and action, that's where the 10% live. The question is, are you going to stay where you are, or are you going to cross that line? Your brain will tell you to keep scrolling, but you already know not to trust that thing blindly. That's it for today. If this hit different, share it with someone who needs it. Trust me, they won't tell you they needed it, but they do. Stickman Burst. See you in the next one.